Jake Paul slammed by former world champion for fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs as Gervonta Davis fight looms. Jake Paul has yet again got the boxing world talking as his fight with Anthony Joshua has broken down, and he will now face Gervonta Davis. The boxing world has been thrown an absolute curveball lately, as while many were awaiting an announcement for Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, instead it was reported that the YouTuber-turned-boxer will instead face a fighter over 60 pounds lighter than him in Gervonta Davis. Paul went from negotiating with a 250-pound fighter to signing to face a 135-pound fighter, and it certainly has people talking. As with any Paul fight, there is a lot of criticism, mostly on account of the sheer size disadvantage Tank has, with Paul continuing his trend of picking fighters with a huge disadvantage in age or size. One fighter has been vocal about "fake Paul" for years, and has sounded off ahead of Netflix's next huge fight. Speaking on his YouTube channel, Carl the Cobra Frock has spoken out against the fight between Paul and Davis, even if it is an exhibition bout. Frock said, "Jake Paul was supposed to be fighting AJ, Eddie Hearn announced it was 99% done, but it now looks like Jake Paul is fighting one of Anthony Joshua's legs. He's fighting Gervonta Davis, somebody who's a quarter of his size. I don't even know what's going on. Has Eddie Hearn been played? The AJ fight with Jake Paul is finished. Gervonta Davis, fake Paul, November. I don't know what's going on in the world of boxing, this is an absolute joke." Davis and Paul are set to headline a Netflix event on November 15th, and it's safe to say Frock is not in favor of the megafight. Despite the size difference, Shakur Stevenson thinks Tank will beat Paul with ease. A simulation predicts Tank will KO Paul. Davis's career-defining victory came in 2023 as he stopped Ryan Garcia, handing him his first-ever defeat via body shot stoppage. Garcia has spoken out against Paul versus Tank, claiming he does not believe it will actually happen. Garcia wrote on X, "I strongly doubt this happens, no way. Gervonta accepted 195 pounds. Gervonta is already small naturally, and you really think he will decide to balloon up to 195 pounds? You got to be delusional to think this is going to happen." He did, however, clarify, that if it does happen, he would be picking Paul to win. The size difference is too big to overlook completely, and the fight does pose an interesting question regarding size versus skill, though it is still a far cry from a fight Paul should take as a world-ranked cruiserweight with apparent ambitions for the top of the sport.